I've got exams coming up in less than 3 weeks, and for the past few days I've been increasingly neurotic because I don't have a plan, which is why I finally decided to just sit down and create a study plan using Excel. This is how I did it. First, I opened up Excel, and on the left hand side I already have a calendar kind of created. I've got all the dates, and I've colored in all the dates just for aesthetic purposes. I also marked down which date my exams are on. I have the MCQ plus SAQ test on the 7th of December, and then on Friday I'll also have a spot test. However, the only test that really counts for a grade is the MCQ, so that's what I'm mainly studying and focusing on. Next, I basically create a list of lectures that I need to study for. I've got one column for the anatomy classes, or HUS, and then there's one column for the physiology. And this year we're learning physiology for respiratory system, endocrine, reproductive, along with some lectures for drugs, which is why on the right side you'll see that I have two shaded columns in different colors that has all the lectures I need to study and learn. Back on the right side, I number all the lectures so I have a general idea of how many actual lectures I need to clear before I have my MCQ test in around 2 weeks on a Wednesday. Next, I start filling in exactly what I need to study every single day. First, I try just labeling it like, I'll study like head and neck for these 5 days, and then later on I'll study neuroanatomy. But then I decided to make things more specific, so you want to make a study plan that is very clear and precise and specific about exactly what you need to be studying that day. You don't want to give yourself a very broad topic because that gives you too much leeway. You want to be specific about exactly which lectures you want to be studying. So eventually I decided to actually number all my lectures for anatomy, and then for each day I'll write down which numbered lectures I need to clear. So like for Friday I need to study lectures 1 through 3, and on the right hand side I have all my lectures numbered. So lecture 1 through 3 would be the overview of head and neck anatomy, skull, cranial cavity and dural sinuses, and finally orbit. So it took me a while to kind of format this. I tried doing 1-3, but then that automatically turned into March 1st because of formatting, and when I tried to convert that back into numbers it didn't really work. So eventually I just did commas. Yeah, and that's what fixed it. Just doesn't look as nice, but oh well. Practical purposes only. I just need to make sure that I know exactly what I need to be studying that day when I'm looking at my study schedule. I continue filling this in for the rest of the calendar, so I just do around 2 to 3 lectures a day for the anatomy, so for head and neck or neuroanatomy. And I keep in mind that on weekdays, since I still have school or I might have other events, I usually just schedule in 2 lectures. Sometimes if I finish in time, then maybe I can study ahead, but my baseline would be to do 2 lectures a day. I also fill in the corresponding topics I need to be studying in terms of physiology, and for this I'm just using the name. So I'll be studying respi lectures for 2 days, and then I'll probably give myself around, probably 3 to 4 days for endocrine, and so on and so forth. Finally, I have a few blank days at the very end. If I follow it to the T, then I should have a few extra days to catch up on work that I don't manage to finish on some days. Say I have scheduled in reproductive physiology plus another 2 lectures for head and neck. If I don't finish that, then I can always mark that down, and I need to make sure that I mark down what I don't finish, and I can always go back to studying that on the blank days I have left in my calendar to make sure that I don't overlook anything. On the side, I'm also marking which lectures I still need to clear. These are the lectures that I haven't made Anki cards for, and I've unshaded them so that it's white. And so for example, review of cranial nerves 1 and 2, I haven't watched the lecture or made Anki cards. So that's also to just keep track of my progress throughout this period right before exams. Finally, I'm just touching up a bit on the formatting, adjusting the size of different cells, and that's about it. That's my study schedule. So hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, check out one of my other videos on how I create a study schedule. This video I made back in May of last year, and good luck on any exams that you have coming up in December.